Hi there, Year 11. Just thought I'd put one last PowerPoint up before your exam tomorrow. And in this PowerPoint, we're going to be looking at Romeo and Juliet and last minute tips and hacks to get you through the exam. So first of all, Year 11, breathe, okay? You do know this. And just a few tips, when you're in the hall before you go into the exam, try not to get caught up in drama. There's bound to be somebody who is so stressed out that they might even be crying. And I know that that might be a friend and you want to be a good friend and go and see if they're okay. Direct them towards a teacher and then sit down and look after yourself. Okay, you need to be focused going into this exam. In the same way, don't let anyone psych you out, okay? If you are talking to somebody and they're saying, oh, you don't know this quote, you don't know this quote, just move yourself away from them, okay? You will all know different quotations, you will all have different knowledge. It is a 2-hour play, you will know different bits of it. That's okay, that's all right. Don't get psyched out. Concentrate, focus your mind, and go into the exam feeling confident. So, hack number 1, you must discuss context. I've said this before and I'll say this again, you have one chance to show the examiner that you understand what context Romeo and Juliet was written in. You know it was written in the 16th century. You can call this the Elizabethan era. Make sure one of those two phrases gets into your essay. It was written in a patriarchal society. That means that men ruled. There was usually one powerful dominant man of a family who controlled everybody else. So try and use that phrase, a patriarchal society. That's what Juliet belonged to. Women were seen as property, and this is why Lord Capulet got so irate when Juliet said no, she wouldn't marry Paris, because actually he thinks of Juliet as his property. I can give you to my friend, okay? Also remember that it was a very religious society. So actually Romeo and Juliet would really trust Friar Lawrence, thinking that he knew best because he was he's seen as a messenger to God. All right. In the same way, this is why there's so much religious imagery throughout. So in the extract that you're given, if there is religious imagery, you can say this is because in the 16th century society was very religious. All right. Just a little bit of context. Get it in. Hack 2. Make sure you say something about iambic pentameter. Okay, again, you've got one chance to use this, one chance to show the examiner that you know what this means and that you can write about it. If you don't put this in, the examiner is going to think that you don't know it. All right, they don't know you, they haven't been teaching you for 2 years, they won't know that you know what iambic pentameter is. So iambic pentameter, if you did need a recap, it's where there's 10 syllables in a line. If it's not in the extract, then try and discuss it from a different section of the play where it has been used. I'm sure if you think about it, you have got examples in your head. Think of the first line of the prologue. Iambic pentameter is often used to show class and education. So Lord and Lady Capulet often use iambic pentameter because it shows their upper class and the education they might have had. Characters who come from a lower class are less likely to use iambic pentameter, so you could discuss that. However, in addition, iambic pentameter can often show passion, an increase in emotion. That could be anger, it could be love, it could be sadness, okay, but it shows a certain passion. Or it could show romance. The 10 syllables, the regular beat, could show that it could reflect a heartbeat, okay, which obviously then links to the theme of love, which goes throughout the play. Okay, hack 3. And this is really important because, as you know, to get those high marks, you must be discussing and analysing language, which you're super at, structure, and we've just looked at iambic pentameter to help you with that, and form. Now with form, obviously you need to show an appreciation that this is a play, and you can do that through using words such as audience, acts, stage directions. But you could also discuss the form of a sonnet, which is used again and again and again throughout Romeo and Juliet. As we know, sonnets are often used for typically romantic poems, so it links to the theme of love. But if you're discussing sonnets, then you should definitely be talking about the prologue, which of course is written in a sonnet, and that maybe sets us up for knowing that this play is going to be around romance. Also in Act 1, Scene 5, Romeo and Juliet share a prologue. It's as if it's one prologue, but they take it in turns to talk. And if you put their dialogue together, it creates a sonnet. And this might show that they were always meant to be together. Maybe it shows that they were destined to be together, that their love was true love. Hack 4. Make sure you mention contrasts. Okay, this is throughout the play. There are contrasts of love and hate, life and death, light and dark, and black and white. And this is through imagery, it's through what people say, it's through the themes. So definitely look for the contrasts in your extract. In addition, sonnets, if you are discussing contrasts, obviously Romeo and Juliet starts with a sonnet. Sonnets are often poetry which show contrasts. So you could discuss that as well as sonnets being typically poems. Okay, so hack 5, look out for any mentions of stars. If there is a quotation to do with stars, then you can say that this is a symbol of fate. As soon as you have shown in the extract perhaps that there is a symbol of fate, you can then link that back to the prologue, which is a sonnet, and discuss the quotation star-crossed lovers. Okay, that is what the examiner is looking for. Something in the extract relating to something later on or earlier on in the play. Hack 6. If you are stuck, ladies, make a fantastic analytical paragraph about names. If you're unsure on this, go back to my previous video and just run it through in your head and think about what different names symbolise and what they mean. Okay, it's a great way to start. Ladies, I cannot tell you how proud I am of you all. You've all worked so hard over the last 2 years. You've got this. Go into the exam, be confident, be calm, be focused. You know what you're doing. You need to comment on structure, language, form, and context, all right? You're going to be amazing. Good luck.